Hot air balloons work based on the principle of buoyancy, which is the upward force exerted on an object immersed in a fluid. In this case, the fluid is the air. The basic idea is that warm air is lighter than the surrounding cool air, and when trapped inside a large balloon, it creates a lifting force that allows the balloon to rise. Here's a step-by-step explanation of how hot air balloons work. Structure of the balloon. A hot air balloon consists of three main parts: the envelope, the fabric part that holds the hot air, the basket, where passengers and the burner are located, and the burner, which produces the heat. Preparing for flight. Before taking off, the balloon is laid out flat on the ground and filled with cold air using a large fan. The envelope is spread out, and the mouth of the balloon, called the mouth or throat, is held open. Inflation. Once the envelope is spread out, the burner is ignited. It has a propane fuel system that produces a controlled flame. The flame is directed into the envelope, heating the air inside. Heating the air, the burner continuously heats the air inside the envelope. The air inside the envelope gets hotter and expands, becoming less dense than the surrounding air. Buoyancy and lift. As the air inside the envelope becomes hotter and less dense, it creates a buoyant force that is greater than the weight of the balloon and its contents. This lifting force causes the balloon to rise. Controlling altitude. To control the altitude of the balloon, the pilot can adjust the amount of heat produced by the burner. Increasing the heat will make the balloon rise, while decreasing the heat will cause it to descend. The pilot can also use vents in the top of the envelope to release hot air and decrease altitude. Wind direction. Hot air balloons are carried by the wind, and the pilot can steer to some extent by finding different wind currents at different altitudes. By ascending or descending to different layers of air, the pilot can change direction. Landing. When it's time to land, the pilot gradually reduces the heat from the burner and opens the parachute valve at the top of the envelope. This allows hot air to escape, causing the balloon to descend. The pilot then looks for a suitable landing spot and guides the balloon down gently. It's important to note that hot air balloons are highly weather dependent, and pilots must take into account wind conditions and other factors for safe and controlled flights.